Hey everyone, it's Tyler Strike from Universal Rackets, and in this video we're going to be teaching you how to hit a killer two-handed backhand drive. Now, everyone can hit their forehand drive, but on their non-dominant side, which is more restricted, they can't hit a good drive on their backhand. They either run around their forehand or they try to hit a backhand drop. We're going to teach you how to get that killer backhand shot. Now, the number one thing that you have to do with the two-handed backhand drive is understand what hand does the work. It's like you're coming back from an Eagles game or a late night at the club and you have an Uber driver, okay? The Uber driver is the top hand. The bottom hand is you sitting in the back seat. Once again, I want you to think for the two-handed backhand, the top hand does the talking, the bottom hand does the walking. All that a two-handed backhand is a top-handed forehand. If you can think that your top hand does all the work and you haven't thought about that before and you're struggling with your backhand drive, that is going to completely change the game. Now, two exercises for you to learn that. Number one, you're just going to hit balls with your opposite hand. It's going to feel really weird. It doesn't matter where the ball goes. And number two, you're going to swing and you're going to wave at the camera, at all your friends or your opponent after you hit. Again, you're going to swing and wave. You're going to swing and wave. By doing this, it's going to teach you how to use that top hand. Now, if that doesn't completely fix or cure your two-handed backhand, that's okay. We're going to be going over step by step. Now, number one is the take back. Players go wrong. They can't hit a good backhand drive because they lack their take back and they take their paddle back here, or they exaggerate their take back and they take their paddle back here. Well, how do you know the proper take back? Very simple. Two things. Number one, when you take the paddle back, you want your paddle facing to the side and you want the tip of the paddle pointing backwards. So notice, when I take the paddle back, it's facing to the side, tip of the paddle is pointing backwards. I'm not here. I'm not coming around the ball. I'm not here and just swinging forward. I'm going to have no momentum. I'm going to be here. Another thing you can think is your butt cap. When you're doing it, you're going to line it up to the ball and then you're going to hit. When you hit and you swing, I'm just quizzing you, what hand does all the work? The top hand does all the work. Now, after you take the paddle back, now, prior to contact, you need to drop your paddle. Again, I'm going to take my paddle back up here, but then when I drop it, it's going to go lower down here. That's going to allow me to get under the ball when I hit. So how do I drop the paddle? It's not rocket science. All I have to do is release my hands. If you hold the paddle tight, it's going to stay up here. If you hold the paddle loose, it's going to automatically go down. So as soon as you take your paddle back, then you need to drop by just releasing your grip. Now, another thing that you can think, another cue, is think that you want to tip your paddle pointing downwards. Not straight downwards, but pointing back. If there was a circle where my foot is, it would be pointing towards there. So, take back, then I'm going to go drop, point it down towards that circle that I referenced. Now, after your drop, now you got to make contact. When you make contact, you want to make contact out in front and away from your body. Once again, when you make contact, you want to make contact out in front and away from your body. Players, they let the ball come close to them, too close to them, and they end up having to fight the ball. You want to not let the ball come to you. You want to go to the ball. So when you make contact, you want to make contact earlier if you're getting the ball too close. Once again, if you're ever getting the ball too close, you want to make contact earlier. Think, if I'm getting the ball too close, that means I'm letting the ball get too close to me. If I take it earlier, I'm going to make it more out in front. Now, after my contact, then we want to make sure that we swing forward and then we follow through. The thing with the drive is you want it to penetrate through the court. And too many players, their drives, they look like this because they're forgetting this amazing key component, and that is the extension. After you make contact, instead of just going up and following through, you want to make sure that you extend out forward and then you follow through. Again, as soon as I make contact, I don't want to just come up. I want to make sure I extend out forward, 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 and then I follow through. That is going to get the ball to penetrate through the court. I want you to see this really quick. This with no extension. Here we are. This with extension. Do you see the difference? Maybe I was in front of that ball, but it goes way more through the court. Now, when we hit our follow through, I want you to think about smelling your armpits. Now, I know that's kind of gross, but you will never forget it again. After you make contact, after you extend, once you're done, you want to smell your armpits. By extending forward and then finishing over your shoulder, you can smell your armpits, or you can think that your elbows are going to be pointing towards your target. Now look at my elbows. It's not here, it's not here, it is up here. So again, I'm taking paddle back, dropping, making contact, extending, pointing the elbows. Now, if you want a little quick tip on accuracy, wherever you point your elbows to, the ball is going to go. So if I want to go to the left side of the court, all I'm going to do is point my elbows towards the left side of the court. If I want to go to the right side of the court, I don't want my ball to go over there, but all I'm going to do is point my elbows towards the right side of the court. That is how you will get the ball to either go to the left or the right of the court. So again, if you can think, again, take back, contact, drop, contact, extension, follow through. Take back to the side, drop by loosening up, contact early out in front, extending forward, and then following through by smelling your armpits or pointing your elbows. That's going to ensure that you can hit an amazing two-handed backhand drive. Now, the number one thing, again, is to make sure your top hand does all the work. Some other things that you can think about is keep your head down, keep your body down, make sure you exhale when you hit, make sure you get into your legs, you're not popping your body up and keeping your body balanced. However, the main gist of it that we went over will get you a decent two-handed backhand drive. Start practicing your two-handed backhand drive. Don't just hit all four hands when you're practicing. You're never going to get good. It's like lifting one dumbbell and not lifting the other. This arm's going to be small. This arm's going to be big. Make sure you subscribe to Universal Rackets, like, share with a friend, and if you want any type of corporate pickleball event, it's near the holidays, get your friend, get your company an amazing holiday pickleball event where we come out to you, put on an amazing intro to pickleball and tournament round robin, anything that you want. Make sure you click the link in the description, Universal Rackets representative. We'll get back to you. Have a good one, happy hitting, and we will see you guys next time on court.